Alright, here we are for our first match. We are on the play, which is great. We have a good hand. So we have to go 1-drop, and then potentially maybe we'll have a 2-drop, or we'll have a clue to crack, or who knows. What I do like is that we're off to basically our best possible start. Ooh, not too bad. There's no reason to crack the clue now. Basically a freebie to hold our Dromoka's command up. Although, I can't imagine what we would actually want to use a Dromoka's command on. It's good to, have it available. So we would certainly like a green source, or excuse me, a blue source. But for now, this is all we will do. So I think at this stage we can fairly assume that we're against the red-green ramp deck. And that was, oh wow! Really wish I had my Dromoka's command for that. Yeah, that was brutal. Just because I want to use my mana efficiently, I think I'm going to run out another Tireless Tracker. My opponent can run back the same play. That's going to be not enjoyable. This will make his Sylvan Advocate a 4/5. And I'm not too afraid yet. We draw land, we did, so that's really good. Let's see, so what's the best thing that we can do? We play the Thalia's Lieutenant, we can just run the Tireless Tracker into the Sylvan Advocate. But I think that, well, we have to worry about Chandra. Chandra would be bad, wouldn't she? I'm kind of fine taking 2 damage here. So I think I'm just going to play the Lambholt Pacifist and say go. I may be playing this more patiently than I should, but I prefer to make it so that we didn't get blown up by a Chandra. If he plays a Chandra and -3s it, I can put a +1/+1 counter on my Lambholt Pacifist and have the Tireless Tracker fight the Sylvan Advocate so that both of them die. And that would mean that my Lambholt Pacifist would be able to kill the Chandra. Not too concerned about taking damage here. A World Breaker would be pretty annoying. Tarka would be really annoying. Ooh, Tarka would be bad. So this is pretty bad for us. There's nothing I can do to protect my guys. This is a triggered ability, it's not being cast. And Ulamog is in play. I think we can wrap this one up. Alright, on to the next game. So, Ojutai's command is going to be quite good in this matchup. We can certainly bring that in. Dromoka's command does have its usefulness. And Reflector Mage is a little on the weak side. I think we actually just cut all the Reflector Mages. Bring in the Nissa to make sure we hit our land drops, and Archangel as a good threat, and a way to protect our creatures from the big stuff. Certainly have to give a nod to Negate, but it ends up being the creatures that do the most damage, and I don't want to be too reactive. Ojutai's command is a counterspell that is quite reactive, but at least it has a, like, you can actually use it proactively. So we'll roll like this. You get to play first, which is sweet. And we have a good hand. Hand's kind of off to the races real fast. And we'll be weak to a Radiant Flames, but if we play this Thalia's Lieutenant, we can be strong against a Kozilek's Return. At least the first time he casts it. This Thalia's Lieutenant will make this Inspector 3 toughness. And with this Inspector plus another one on turn 3, or another creature, I can get this Thalia's Lieutenant up to 3 toughness also. I would assume at this stage my opponent's most likely to be digging for lands with his Oath of Nissa. My opponent's deck needs so much mana. And he does get a land. Typical. But I will take the opportunity to just fire off my Lieutenant. This is also nice because it means that if I draw Dromoka's command, I can potentially fight a Sylvan Advocate, which is kind of nice. Ooh, and that's good. So here, unfortunately, don't get to do anything too fancy. But we should have a pretty good follow-up turn. When we get to cast Collect Company this turn, should be great. We don't have to worry about a Chandra next turn, which is nice. Ooh, another 1,000 turn. Is quite good. Ooh, now we're cooking with gas. So I think next turn I'll probably play the Tracker and Lieutenant. Play the Lieutenant now. It makes this a 4/4 and this 3 power, so I can bash for 7. But play the Lieutenant. I think that might actually be better. Because I can crack the clue and then hold Collected Company up if my opponent has a big sweeper. Big Chandra. Well, all my creatures should be, for the most part, out of Chandra range anyway. I think I should just do this now. And I'll have a ton to attack with on the following turn. And in particular, if my opponent doesn't pass with Kozilek's Return mana open, that means I don't have to worry about him, you know, flashing it back to wipe all my big creatures. So I think I'm basically guaranteed to win from here. Could have a roast for my Thalia's Lieutenant. That would be decent. So do I care? I think I would like to block given the opportunity to. Like if I just cast the Thalia's Lieutenant and swing with everything, he's going to be able to block something no matter what. I doubt he has any tricks. Oh, that's the stuff. Let's see. So if he blocks this, and everything else is +3, 5, 10, or +2, 4, 8, 11. So yeah, we're gonna pump up Jam. Multiple Thalia Lieutenants is just gross. So good. Pretty insane how much power and toughness this is. I mean, this other Thalia Lieutenant's an 8/8 now. It's insane. It's crazy. And he just has to chump block with the Sylvan Advocate. Kind of unreal. Yeah, that'll leave you dead. Take 15 damage. Now he's like, what? He's got to be drawing dead from here. Like, come on. You're toast. I didn't even play my land because it doesn't even matter. Yep, on to the next one. So out of anything different to do for the player of the draw, we're just gonna run it back. And here we are for the third game of our first match. Our hand is a little weak. We'd really like to draw a plains off the top. Sweet. Not quite. So we don't get to run out our one drop, which is a little disappointing. Thalia's Lieutenant isn't like the best first play of the game, but at least we get to curve out and get the ball rolling. That's the important part. This guy's had a lot of Sylvan Advocate. Sylvan Advocate is like probably one of his best cards to have against us. Ooh. So actually that's a little awkward. We can't really play that. We will play what we can play. Another option that turn would have been to play the Thraben Inspector and the Port Town, but I would rather use my mana more efficiently than that. And there's a good chance that I draw a Plains or Island to be able to play this Port Town untapped. Or Canopy Vista or Prairie Stream. So now I can play this untapped. So I think that I actually want to just play both Thraben Inspectors so that I don't get blown out by Kozilek's return. Like I did that other game. And this also means I get to attack in for some damage, which is always nice. And it means I get to ensure that when I play my Tireless Tracker, I can play a land and crack a clue. Although the most likely thing is that I just play the Forest and then the Collected Company on the following turn. And these Thalia Lieutenants get out of hand so fast. They're pretty unreal. If I can hit 2 humans off my next collected company, it'll be out of Chandra range. And if I can get a third out, it'll be out of roast range as well. My opponent just forgot to attack for 2. Oh, that's good. Man, I really wish I had some sort of thing though. Don't. Even if I do hit 2 humans, I can't really attack. So I think I'm just gonna say go. And wait until I draw a removal spell or something. I will be casting the collected company here though. So if my opponent gets like a world breaker and kills my 1 port town, that's actually kind of annoying. Attack kind of makes me think my opponent either has a sweeper or a world breaker and is looking to get me to tap out and get some damage on my creatures. So I think it's worth it for me to just chump block one of these. It saves a little bit of damage, and it means if my opponent wants to play Chandra and -4, he's going to lose one of his own Sylvan Advocates. So what if my opponent has like 2 Kozilek's returns? Something like that. I can just start making my Tireless Trackers huge. There's the thing. Yeah, let's crack a clue and see what's up. And from here, I'm just going to start drawing a bunch of extra cards and burying my opponent with card advantage. Till I see an Ulamog, I ain't scared. Arc would be pretty annoying, but all these clues, if I can just hit a Dromoka's command or Ojutai's command, I'm going to be set. So Sanctum of Ugin is actually a pretty big draw because this means my opponent can play one of his big payoff spells and then grab an Ugin. So this means I probably am at the point where I got to make a move. It's 7, and that is World Breaker. So I'm probably going to have to make a big attack here. Fortunately, I can make it so that all my creatures are just huge. That part's cool. I wonder if my opponent... Yeah, he gets another World Breaker. And this is basically my cue to get moving. I think I should probably crack one clue. Actually, what does another World Breaker do? I wait until next turn and get these guys huge. Probably worth it. I don't think the Lambholt Pacifist does anything on this board. So I think I'm just gonna let him cast another World Breaker. And I think I'm just gonna have a bigger board. My opponent doesn't get Ugin, it's just not good enough. Him killing my lands is not actually that big of a deal because I can just, I mean, I'm just drawing tons of cards. So. So this is clearly suspicious. What my opponent's doing here, just passing with his mana open. I know he has a World Breaker and he's not casting it. But I just say go again. And this is great too because now I'm representing Avacyn. So how much do I care about this? Would be nice to have Avacyn right now. I think this is fine. So he kills my Thalia's lieutenant. No problem. But it's still a long way from Thalia, from Ulamog. And this double Tireless Tracker is just crazy. So good. So many cards. Now, if this collected company, if I can hit another Tireless Tracker, another Thalia's Lieutenant, that would be really good. Interestingly enough, if my opponent doesn't play a land, a Knight of the Wet Orchid can even get me a land, which is funny. So this seems like the -5 is coming. if he's leveling up the Hangerback Walker now. So crack a clue and get a little more info. And again, I'm making this play so that don't want to go down to 6. Then like an Atarka one-shots me. It seems like my opponent wants to lose the Hangerback Walker anyway. And let's see here. And he didn't cast it. Go figure. And 9 is pretty nice. That's going to require a double block. Pretty cool. I think it's probably about time for me to make a move. Opponent basically has to block and lose stuff. Probably should have cashed in his Hangerback Walker. A little surprised that he didn't. My opponent has to block 2 of my creatures. So the good thing for him is he can actually get just even trades, which is rather impressive. But I guess he fears Dromoka's command here. So if I crack 2 clues, I can kill 2 of these. And maybe draw Dromoka's command. That'd be nice. Maybe another time. Still decimates his board. Then I push a bunch of damage. And I still have blockers. And I have 8 cards in my hand. I'll get rid of a Duskwatch. I'm not gonna need this. So from here, if this Hangerback Walker was 6/6, my opponent could potentially kill me. But, ooh, actually this would do it too if this was a 5/5. Needs to be 1 bigger. This Dragon Lord is pretty close to killing me though. I'm a little worried. See what we can get. That's good. So the best thing my opponent can do is just chump block with Hangerback Walker. So I do want to force him to do that. I probably have to fight the Atarka. So Rook's coming gives us 12 toughness, 12, 12, 13, 14, 15. More than enough. You are gone. If I can get another Dromoka's command, I can just end it. But 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 8 lands. 5, 6, 7, 8. So does my opponent. One more shot for the potential win. I have to wait till next turn. What's insane about this is my Tireless Tracker just fought an Atarka, and now World Breaker still can't even trade with it in combat. It's pretty unreal. My opponent's got to be wondering how this happened. I mean, he is the ramp deck. It's been a pretty long game, and I've played this probably maybe more patiently than I had to, but it just seems so safe. It just seems so clear that I would have the bigger and better board. Now, if my opponent has a Chandra, I guess maybe there's a way he could kill me. Like playing the Lambholt Pacifist keeps me safe from Kozilek's return into Chandra. I think that's like, the one decision that I have to make. But with that Sanctum's of Ugin in play, I think my opponent's just dead. I guess he could just play Ugin. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, that's 9 mana. He needs 10. And once I untap this Ojutai's command, that's a big deal. Wonder if he has another Atarka. That would be a good reason to get me down to exactly 8. Yeah, it's been a long game. Ooh, I should have played my Knight of the White Orchid first. Oh well. Like silly at this point. Now that I have this Ojutai's command, I can just, play some stuff, pass with at least 4 mana up. And then I'll be golden. Game is so over. And I expect my opponent to draw his card and then concede. I mean, Ugin doesn't even save him. I guess on board Ugin would save him. And exile both of these. Not a big deal. Sure, I'll take 2. The World Breaker is going to get countered. And that's game, folks. It's a little drawn out, but, you know, just doing my thing. And my opponent is D.O.B. He is Ludobs, dead on board. Oh yeah, that'll do something. And he's dead.